Hey, so we've got a flat piece of a retention. In edit mode you can see it's a open mesh, and this has been taken. You can actually make these yourself if you want to, but we will populate our component module full of these retentive elements. Now obviously we don't have a chrome cobalt module as yet, but to demonstrate the basics of it, we'd actually place this retention along our saddles. So I'm going to shrink wrap this specific one to my model, and it'll appear all funny, but we're going to change this because we're going to change this to project and the negative value. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put another modifier on there in a minute. So we're going to do that now. So we're going to put solidify, and we're going to give that, say, a 2 millimeter solidification and the offset at 0. Note how it is adapted to the surface of the model. And in this instance, I'm going to view it from the bottom. I'm going to use the G key and the R key to adapt this to my model, and the S key to scale it down, and I'll position this sort of where I need retention. And of course I'm going to duplicate this for the other side. Shift D, duplicate R. I'm going to place this where I need it to be. Perhaps something like that. I'm going to scale this one a little bit larger. So what I'm doing is I'm going to cut it off here, and I'm going to cut it off there. Let's duplicate this one more time. Shift D, R to rotate. This time around we're going to manipulate the mesh so that it actually fits over here. So at the moment it doesn't, but we're going to change this in a minute. So tab edit mode. I'm going to put the proportional editing on. Maybe we take the magnet tool off. And this is doing exactly what I wanted to do. And I'm going to move this mesh and manipulate it accordingly. So you can basically do what you want here. It's exactly like in the laboratory. We're positioning these out, and we're stretching them, and we're sculpting them, and we're doing whatever we need to do. So once we've got that more or less done, we're going to then apply these to become objects. Okay, I'm quite satisfied with this. We're going to, of course, cut this short. Actually, what I want to do is I want to hide these and just give this a little bit of a better look. Because note, I'm going to have to cut it off somewhere. So let's anticipate where we're going to make these cuts, like here, for example. I think I quite like this. We can make it thicker if we want to, or we can leave it. At the moment it is set at 1 millimeter thickness. Of course I need some retention to join this up as well. This is going to be joined up to my layer. I'm going to be satisfied with this, and we're going to apply this. Instead of running through each and every one of these, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one, shift left click, these 3 objects convert to to a mesh, and this has applied all of my modifiers. Good. In the model designer, we're going to now cut these out. So I'm going to take this one first, place my cursor, go to the lasso cutting tool, view it from the top, and I'm going to section this out like that. I'm going to go on to this side, keep outside, accept. Next, this one up. I'll select the top, the highest surface, put my cursor on, lasso. Excellent, so far so good. Take this one, keep outside. Now you see it's disappeared, and this is because of a Boolean cut failure. So I'm going to go G, and I'll just slightly move the tool a little bit, and it has appeared. It hasn't cut on the one side, but now it has cut. And we're going to apply, accept. Lastly, this one. Now, these are looking fantastic, except for this one I'm not so happy with. And this is probably why the Boolean failed. And again it failed. Using the G key. Accept. This is looking great. Next up, we're going to be placing clasps and attaching these to these retentive elements.